Well, the war, that's going on now on streaming sites, the war on porn, the war on anime, the war, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I'm just calling it plain simple censorship. This is an attack on product, period. And it doesn't matter whether it's pornography, whether it's cartoons, whether it's R-rated films, action films. They're all being attacked one way or another. And the thing about it is, the way that it's being done, they are attacking it in a way that to make it sound that they want to wrangle you in to the way they're thinking to basically, censor or get rid of these companies. And they do it by saying cheese pizza. Let's call it cheese pizza. Yeah, they yell out cheese pizza. They yell out illegal uploads, unverified viewers. In other words, you have young children logging in, not enough verification to the people who are watching this. And I said this once and I'll say it again. If children is online pulling up porn sites, it's the parents' responsibility to fix that in the computer. And it can be easily done via the computer's protection system or buying inexpensive software that will handle it. If companies, big corporations, can do it on their computers, you the home family member, the parent, can do it too. And we've discussed many different countries, Spain, Germany, France, Australia, Russia, even here in the United States we've gone to. Now you can add one more to the list, and Ireland has joined that list of many others as a justice minister calls porn too accessible.
Hold it! What the hell is that shit?
And get this off XBiz. Ireland's Justice Minister Helen McNee today declared that she believes pornography has become too easily accessible, and more violent and degrading. She's made the remarks in a response to a survey publicized by local press claiming that 1 in 5 men in Ireland aged under 55 watches porn daily. I'd like to know where she got her figures. In a statement to the Irish Examiner, McNee, a member of the right-leaning Christian, of course, Democratic Fine Gael Party, a governing partner in the coalition led by Ireland's Labour Party. Notice it's always the Labour Party that basically is trying to get these censorship done. Reacted to the survey conducted by the nonprofit Men's Development Network. Pornography is too easily accessible. It has become more violent and degrading, McNee stated. It has changed the way young people view sexual relationships. Men and boys can become agents of change by challenging discrimination, sexism, and violence. And I welcome the tireless work that the Men's Development Network does in this area. I am glad that my department has been of assistance this year, providing funding for awareness-raising campaigns. I am confident that through continued education, we could support men and boys and women and girls to fulfill their aspirations. Unconstrained by narrow stereotypes, we must continue to work together. The MDA survey reports that more than 70% of men under 45 who responded to the survey reported using porn at least once a week, while over 40% of the respondents of age 44 and under said that pornography has an influence on the expectation of sex in real life. While the MDA website describes as the survey is open to all men throughout the island of Ireland, age 18 and upward, and seeking representation demographic sample, it is unclear based on the mainstream news reporting whether the MDA survey only straight identifying I hate that, men or included gay and trans men. Most of the quotes used in the press conference conflated with men, cis men, implied that pornography is only used by them. MDM CEO Sean Cook expressed the hope that more people would compete our male attitude survey to support us so we can continue forming a policy that brings a meaningful social light to change all. Ireland is currently ongoing debate over sex education in schools, whether porn awareness will be part of the curriculum, and how it's been a contested issue. Sex education, I hate when they talk, they say, it's sex education. It's biology. Let's call it the way it was before. When I was in school, and I went to a Catholic high school, our sex education was in biology. Okay? And I went to an all-boys school. So trust me on this. The discussions that you have is straight on from medical text, not from pornography or anything to this nature. Now, here's the big thing on this. They did a demographic sample of men. Men. Now, they said they didn't know if they did gay men or trans. What about the women? Did they talk to women? They mostly respondents of men. Why not women? Women watch porn. Believe it or not, and this is coming from someone who worked in the industry, and we're talking about the video retail industry as well, from the distribution end and from the retail end. And the one thing you notice is that women tend to rent more than men and gay men, believe it or not. There's a little article picked up on here back in 2020, and I have like two of them, and it explains it. Women watch porn too, but why? Almost every man watches porn, but in recent years, the proportion of women in porn audience has been growing. What does this shift mean? DW asked the sociologist, the evolutionary biologist. Women don't usually watch porn, or do they? According to recent surveys by popular porn websites such as Pornhub and X-Hamster, nearly 1/3 of the porn viewing audience is made up by women, and that is sharing is increasing. It's a little higher now in 2022. First, let's go into the science of the matter. The neurons that cause humans to become aroused by pornographic content are called mirror neurons. Mirror neurons make us do or feel things that actions we observe. If we see someone laughing or crying, for example, mirror neurons mirror the behavior of this person as though we were performing the action ourselves. These neurons have been observed in humans and primate species, but also birds. Both women and men have them. However, until today, little research has been conducted on the topic, and there should be more of it on there. One recent study carried out by a psychologist, Sean McNaby, and his colleagues from Valparaiso University in the U.S. state of Indiana has given more insights into the connections between women's sexuality and pornography. They did research following more than 2,400 women in the United States and Hungary to look at the question of how porn consumption is affecting the woman's overall sexual satisfaction and their relationships. The study found that among things that were more frequent, use of pornography was related less difficulty in becoming aroused, fewer problems in coming to a orgasmic, greater pleasure both alone and during partner intercourse. And not only that, women who watch pornography tend to be younger and better educated. The fact that female porn audiences lean to the young side was confident by X-Hamster survey, which was published in February based on a sample of 100,000 participants in all. 33.8% of the female porn consumers surveyed said they were between 18 and 24 years old, and 60% of the women in survey stated that they watched porn, that porn had improved their sex life. There's a little bit more on this, and there are many articles like this. And you look at them, and it says women watch more porn than men, and it's the truth. It is the truth on there, and I've seen it from one level to another. Here is a little piece that Time put out back in 2014, and I just want to give you the figures. This was done by Cosmopolitan. They did this. They're known for these little surveys and stuff like that. And the numbers may have changed, but it gives you a perspective of what, even back in 2014, that a lot of the stuff like Ireland is saying on their end is just not factual. It just doesn't jive in the numbers. Out of 4,000 men and 4,000 women, 21.3% women prefer same-sex porn to heterosexual porn compared to 1/8 of the men. When it comes to porn actresses, the most important characteristic men are looking for is youth, 47.4%, picked young as the quality they look for, followed by 40.1% selecting larger.
Big breastises?
Men could choose more than one category, and MILF had the strongest showing at 30%. 1% of the female respondents had done porn. 7 out of 10 men watch stuff on porn they would, and this is important, 7 out of 10 watch stuff on porn they wouldn't do in real life, which is comforting considering some of the funky porn genres on the internet. Only 7 out of every 50 women like to watch things they wouldn't do themselves. 2/3 of the men satisfied faster from watching porn than they do in real life. 8% men prefer pleasuring themselves than watching porn than having sex. 68% of women aren't bothered by their male partners watching porn habits as long as it doesn't interfere with their relationship. But getting back to that one line that's important, 7 out of 10 watch stuff they would not do in real life. Whereas when you heard the article, she says, pornography has become too easily accessible and more violent and degrading. And the thing about it is, these are movies. These are films that are, and there's some crazy categories out there. Not everybody wants to do what's on a porn movie. And the thing about it is, and here's the other half of it, some people watch porn movies because they might have heard something from a friend and said how crazy that this is, and they're watching it. I mean, have you ever seen, perfect example, a TikTok video or something like that, when someone sends it to you and said, look at this crazy video of this person doing this thing. Jumping off a car, jumping on a car, or hitting themselves in the head with a hammer, or all the crazy shit that you see on Facebook and Twitter and all these sites on there. You don't think that happens in the porn industry? Yeah, there are some crazy shit out there. How many guys want to go out there and find a woman that is just 10 times his size to have sex with? How many guys you know that? And I'm not talking about big butts or anything. I'm talking massive women. Massive. No, not many guys would say that, yeah, that turns me on there. But some guys will look at it and go like, oh my God, look at this. People make jokes of it on there, The guys from South Park, they had that movie, Orgasmo. Where they had a scene where they had a woman that was really large, and that was hysterical. And there are some adult films out there based on parodies. Some of it are comedic. Some of it are weird, bizarre. It's all part of the thing. It's all part of the business. There are guys who dress up as Santa Claus in some of these films. There are guys who dress up as Superman in these films. There are women who dress up as Miss Marvel, Spider-Woman, and all these characters on there. Yes, sex sells. Yes, it does. Always has been since the first cave drawings on the wall. But the thing is now, you have to look at what is going on as these supposedly champions of truth, who are actually just people who want to censor, or they are the new Puritans, as that novel that came out was talking about. These are the new Puritans. We had a website recently, I think it belongs to Sony, that it was censoring, and I kid you fucking not, as censoring manga pictures. There's one scene where they censored a kneecap. A kneecap! Have we dipped that back far now? Remember the old jokes where they said they had the girl, the Puritan girl would lift up and show just a bit the ankle. They're like, oh my God! And freak out on that? Remember the jokes on that? Are we headed back in that fucking direction? This is why we say that we're in the revolution, because we need to fight. We need to fight back. Tell these politicians, stay out of our content. If there's something illegal there, yeah, do mention to the company. They'll gladly get rid of it. They don't want it there. They don't want that trouble. Think about that for a minute. They don't want that cheese pizza on there. Because it's going to get them trouble from every direction. Look at what's going on in California now with MindGeek and Visa. We got that story coming up. And the thing about it is, the judge merging Visa in that case is just totally insane. Why not add Verizon and AT&T and every other IP company that gives out access to the internet? Why not get them part of the case? You can't. If you do it, you're going to be in deep shit yourself. You have a company that had some situations, they cleaned it up, and then they had to get rid of a lot more, which basically they couldn't verify, which wasn't cheese pizza, and it was still removed. And then they resigned. These companies are doing enough the best they can. Are there some illegal ones out there? Yes. Yes, there is. You have the dark web. That's where it's at. If there are people out there that sneaks in this stuff into the mainstream, and it is there on Facebook, it is there on Twitter, it is there on Instagram and TikTok, but they go after these other companies. So like I said, add Ireland to the list. Comment below. Tell me how your thoughts to this situation. And I know some of you guys out there, especially BitChute, you're gonna say, "Hey, it's evil. Porn is evil." Yes, but the thing about it is, no one's telling you to watch it. And the thing about it is, they'll come after you later for what you're watching. This is not only to remove porn. This is to control the information. The internet has opened the world up to a lot of information. Stuff they could have controlled without the internet. Now, with the internet, it has become a nightmare for some of these groups. Because now we're getting smarter to the situation. A lot of us are looking at information. When someone says it's this, let's look it up. Let's find out. Let's check the numbers. Let's see the receipts. So subscribe, like, share, and comment. We'll see you on the next video. Thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye now.